Today, we're taking you on a tour of Plano, Texas. If you're wondering if Plano may be the right fit for you, this video is going to cover everything about living right here in Plano. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of Plano because we like kind of knowing where things got their start. We also want to dive into the information on the schools, crime, employment, and the particular demographics, of course, of Plano as well. And we want to talk a little bit about the cost of living, of course, the real estate market, and we are going to talk about what it's like living in Plano. We'll give you a little bit of a tour. We'll hop into the map, kind of show you around so that you can know exactly where Plano is and all of the things that Plano has in there. So stick around and we're going to get after it right after this. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Living in Dallas channel. I am Kristen Carpentier, a local Dallas area realtor. I help people make that move here to the Dallas, Texas area all the time. My team and I are getting calls, texts, and emails every single day. And if you have any need for finding out more information about the perfect place that might fit you and your family, don't hesitate to reach out so that we can help you figure that out. Now, we want to go into a little bit of the highlights. So we're going to give you a little bit of an overview because, how did Plano get its start? Well, it was incorporated back in 1872 following the development of the Houston Central Railway. Now, the city just kind of steadily grew along the way, but the population of Plano actually exploded when some of these big corporations moved into the city of Plano. Corporations like JCPenney and Frito-Lay, for an example. And the city has also been recognized as an all-American city back in 1994. So a great place to live in America is right here in Plano, Texas. Now, according to niche.com, Plano receives an overall grade of an A+. So not too shabby for people wanting the absolute best place to move. And some of the notable rankings for Plano, according to niche.com, is that it has been ranked number 8 as the place in America to buy a home. It's also ranked number 8 in America for the best public schools and number 10 for the best cities to raise a family in America. All of America, number 10. It also gets a very high rating for the best places for young professionals. As obviously we'll get into it a little bit, the employment is pretty awesome right in the city limits of Plano. Now, Plano is actually home to several Fortune 1000 companies, and more than 10,000 businesses actually call Plano their home. So tons and tons of employment opportunities right within the city limits of Plano. Some of the companies that have their headquarters in Plano are JCPenney, like I mentioned, they're still there. Alliance Data Systems, Rent-A-Center, Cinemark Holdings, Keurig, Dr. Pepper, of course, Frito-Lay, and FedEx and Toyota of North America actually moved all of their headquarters to the Plano area not that long ago as well. So Plano also is known for having a lot of great shopping in the area. If you go over to Legacy West, you have your regular shopping like your Lululemon, your Madewell, Levi's, Nike, but you also have some high-end shopping, Louis Vuitton, Cartier. So lots of great options over there in Legacy West. They also have a lot of great dining options over there as well. And many people, especially the native Texans, if you know anything about your HEB, does kind of have a little bit of a cult following here in Texas. Well, it has been known to having a lot of their grocery stores in the southern part of Texas, down around Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. But we finally got a couple here in the Dallas metro areas. And so far, we have them in Frisco and also one in Plano. So pretty much made the news. Huge deal for people who are just, totally into their HEB and where they get their groceries, if that is something that is important to you as well. There are also plenty of parks and activities to take part in the city of Plano as well. If you want to enjoy the outdoors, they have Go Ape, which is a zipline adventure park over in Oak Point Park and Nature Preserve. That area encompasses over 200 acres of green space and trails. And they also host the amazing Plano Hot Air Balloon Festival. So if you have ever been to one of those, and it's definitely a great activity to participate in right there at Oak Point Park in Plano. They also have Arbor Hills Nature Preserve that has around 800 acres. And that also has all kinds of trails and green space to enjoy the outdoors as well. But something to note, if you're really into knowing where all your parks and everything are, those two parks combined are actually larger than Central Park in New York City, which only has 840 acres. So when we pop into the map, we'll show you, but tons and tons of parks, not only your neighborhood parks, but obviously these two big, humongous parks right here in Plano. One more on the east side and one more on the west side. So Plano also has 5 recreational centers with swimming pools, aquatic centers, and fitness centers. And they also have a huge, giant shaped pool in the shape of Texas, because of course everything is better here in Texas. And it is a public pool that you can go swim at all the time. Well, basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So another great way to go in and cool off in one of our hot Texas summers, go swimming in a Texas-shaped pool. All right, so first up, we want to kind of show you a little bit where Plano is located. And it is, for the most part, almost directly straight north of downtown Dallas. It is located in Collin County and is around 71.1 square miles in size. And the main highways around the city that you'd be using are the Sam Rayburn Tollway on the north side, the Dallas North Tollway to the west that heads north and south. The 75 freeway is over on the east side, heading north and south down into Dallas and up into Oklahoma. And the George Bush Turnpike is on the southern border of Plano, heading east and west. So essentially, 3 out of the 4 major freeways that surround Plano are toll roads if you're going to be commuting and driving around a lot as well. Granted, you don't always have to get on the toll road. Now, if you want to catch a Dallas Mavericks game or a Dallas Stars game down at the American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas, that is going to be around 20 miles, depending on the time of day. How long that could actually take you, nobody knows. And if you want to be traveling at all, or I would assume at some point when you're living here in Dallas, you're going to need to catch a flight out of DFW Airport. And that is going to be around 28 miles. But obviously, Plano is quite large, so depending on what part of the city you live in, how long that is going to take you to get there could vary a little bit. But 28 miles for the most part, and timing just depends on the traffic. Now, maybe you love going to the rodeo and you want to go check out the stockyards. You have friends and family coming into town. Well, that's a little bit further of a drive, and that's going to be around 50 miles to get from Plano to downtown Fort Worth. And even better yet, maybe you are a huge sports junkie and you want to go catch a Texas Rangers baseball game, or of course, a Dallas Cowboys football game. Well, AT&T Center is over in Arlington, and both stadiums are in that area, and that's going to be around 38 miles away. So just kind of giving you an idea of where everything is located in regards to the location of Plano. Now a little bit about the local population of Plano. According to the 2020 census, Plano had around 288,000 people. And as of 2023, it's noting around 293,000 people, making it now the 9th largest city here in Texas. So definitely one of the larger cities, but because for the most part, Plano is mostly all built out, it's obviously not going to be growing nearly as quickly as some of the other cities, because for the most part, it's already, pretty well filled out. And looking at some of the demographics, you can see some of the racial and ethnic makeups according to worldpopulationreview.com. You can see that Plano is also quite diverse, and people from all over the world are actually represented right here in Plano. So 74% of the residents were born in the US, and around 40% were actually born right here in the state of Texas. And about 15% of the residents in Plano are not US citizens, and it is shown right here in the visual that I am providing for you. Now, while the median age in Plano is 38.9 years old, for men, it's 37.8 years old, and the women's median age is about 40 years old. Apparently, more older women than men in the Plano area. All right, now on to employment. We have told you how many employers are in Plano and a lot of the businesses that we have there. But Plano definitely has a lot of opportunity. Capital One Finance is the largest employer in the city of Plano. Also, DXC Technology, Bank of America Home Loans, Ericsson, and Toyota round out the other top 5 employers. And according to the 2020 census, the median income in Plano was around $96,000. So as we can see, employment by category, the largest percentage of occupations fall within management and sales, business and finance, computer, mathematical, education, and the healthcare professions. Now, also indicated by the particular industries, we have the professional, scientific, technical, healthcare, administrative, finance, insurance, and education represented. Now, a little bit into the politics. Many people are interested in the political makeup these days here in Texas based on where they might be actually wanting to live. So as we look at the 2020 election, Plano appears to be leaning a little bit more Democrat as indicated here on the map. However, Collin County, where Plano is located, the Senate was heavily in favor of the Republican Party, and President Trump won by a smaller margin. So you can say it is a little bit of a mixed bag in this particular area. Now, touching just a bit on the crime ranking, according to bestplaces.net, that got their crime numbers from the FBI on a scale of 1 being low crime to 100 being high crime. Plano receives a 13 in terms of violent crime, with Dallas having a 37 and the U.S. having a 22.7. And for property crime, Plano receives a 29.6, with Dallas getting a 50.7 and the U.S. average being 35.4. Now, I was able to find the actual year-to-date numbers shown from the Plano Police Department, which shows 2023 year-to-date and also 2022 as a comparison year-to-date. And of course, the most asked about question we get here is in regards to the schools. We recently did a video on what it costs to live in the DFW Metroplex best ranked school districts, and the Plano ISD made the top 10 list. The Plano Independent School District is ranked the 10th best place in the DFW metro area, and it is actually ranked number 17 in all of Texas. Plano is a pretty large school district. It does have 10 high schools, with most of them being broken up into 9th and 10th grade campuses and senior highs that are 11th and 12th grade campuses. They have 13 middle schools, and there are 48 elementary schools. It does have about 50,000 students, with a student-to-teacher ratio of 15:1. And according to the reviews, out of the 262 reviews that were posted, most were rated excellent or very good. Now let's hop into the map, and we're actually going to kind of show you around and give you an idea of where everything is located here in Plano. Now here you can see where we have the city of Plano all laid out here on our map. So here's the President George Bush Turnpike that runs along the south end of Plano. The Sam Rayburn Tollway here on the north side. The Dallas North Tollway is on the west over here. And then this is the 75 freeway. So this will take you down into Richardson, into Dallas, and all the way up into Oklahoma, actually. So you can see Allen right here is on the north side. And then this is all of Frisco. So if you know anything about the area, you'll know where all of those are. But here you can see Oak Point Park and Nature Preserve is over here on pretty much the far east side of Plano. You can see all the green space and basically all of the park areas and biking trails and trees. It's really beautiful actually out over there. And then over here on the far west side is the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve. So as you can see, far west, far east, we have a lot of that here in Plano. But on top of all of that, you can see all of the other green space and park areas, golf courses, country clubs that are right here in Plano. And of course, your HEB. We have HEB here. I mean, seriously, it's a grocery store, but whatever, people love it. Also a Costco. Tons of people love that as well, me included. And then up here in this little corner from the tollway and from both of these tollways is where you're going to find Legacy West. So when you zoom in here a little bit more, the Legacy West area is over in this location. We also have Granite Park, which is just over here if you want an outdoor, more of a boardwalk, hang out outside, look over the water. There's a big hotel out there as well. So tons of shopping right here. And then as you come down here along the tollway, a lot more commercial stuff and businesses, shopping, restaurants, a lot of that. And then down over here will be the shops at Willow Bend. So lots and lots of shopping over here. But when you come on the east side along the 75 freeway, as you head up north into Allen, you have a lot of opportunities for shopping and dining and pretty much everything you need over on the 75. So Plano has no lack whatsoever of things to do, restaurants, shopping, and of course, throughout all of Plano, Spring Creek Parkway and Parker Road, you are going to find a ton of the strip mall areas, your grocery stores, I mean, all throughout Plano. So pretty much everything you need is going to be right here in the Plano area, including apparently an H Mart that I've just learned about. So a lot of people are thinking that that's a huge bonus by knowing that there's an H Mart here in Plano. So definitely something else to think about. So now let's pop back out of our video and we will move on. Now in the city of Plano, about 58% of the residents actually own their homes. And there are price ranges everywhere from around the mid $300,000 up to multi-million dollars right within the Plano area. So something to take note of that there are multiple opportunities from single family homes to condos to luxury homes on large lots, as well as luxury high-rise condo living as well. So there are definitely multiple neighborhoods. It's just going to determine what it is that you're looking for in the particular area that you're looking for. So that's why we are always suggesting that you reach out to us so that we can help you find the perfect spot. Now, as you can see here on the map, when we're talking, $300,000 to $500,000 range, you can see that there are multiple areas here in Plano where you can find a home in that price point. For the most part, if you're looking in those price ranges, they're going to be older. Maybe some of them towards the mid $400,000 to $500,000 range will certainly be a little bit bigger. We'll have a lot more updates done to them. And then same thing kind of goes for the $500,000 to $800,000 range. If you're looking up, at least $600,000 to $800,000 range, you'll definitely start to get a little bit more room and maybe a few more updates. But of course, in Plano, a lot of the homes are older. Not tons and tons of new construction are going on, but you can see that, there are a few little spotty areas in the Plano area with some new construction. But if you want something over $1 million, you can certainly find that as well. When we kind of dive into some of the particular neighborhoods that we do love in Plano, there are also quite a few of them. But Lakeside on Preston is one that we definitely love. It's more of like your luxury homes, high price tags. There are 5 lakes, a 15-acre park, tree-lined streets. Definitely a lot more established over there. And you can get some lakeside living if you absolutely are looking for something like that. But it also is going to have all the amenities that you're going to possibly want right there in that Lakeside and Preston community. Then we also have the Willow Bend community. We do have the Willow Bend Country Club over there, and if people want to live there, it's going to be all about location. If they want location to pretty much all of the commercial shopping and dining that they want, maybe they want to be really close to their work, that is another great, beautiful neighborhood. It is also higher end and it is near some top schools, but it is also known to have a very tight-knit community in that Willow Bend area. You might want something that's a little bit more affordable, and that could be the Whiffletree neighborhood. It does have over 400 homes in that area. Most were built in the 1980s. But in that particular community, you might get a little bit more bang for your buck. And it does have some well-lit streets, which here in Texas, sometimes we have realized not every neighborhood is as nicely lit as we had back home. So just kind of depends on the neighborhood, how many streetlights you're going to get, which we do kind of find a little bit odd in some of these areas. You have Kingsgate, which is a smaller gated community. The homes are going to be probably over $2 million, and they're going to have much larger private lots compared to a lot of the other neighborhoods. But surrounding Kingsgate, you're going to have Kings Ridge, and there are a lot of homes in that particular area that kind of surround it, smaller lots, and almost more in that northwest central part of Plano if you don't want to be so far to the east side. So the Kingsgate and Kings Ridge community is one big master plan community location. So that could be another great fit. We also have Normandy Estates, more on the west, far west side of Plano. And we love the architecture over there. There are definitely some higher end homes, and it is all about the location, all about the amenities. And if you are wanting to be able to go outdoors and do your biking, your fishing, and walk and have plenty of trails to go and enjoy, another great community option. Well, obviously there's a lot of other communities because Plano is so large that we could, focus in on, but definitely some of our favorites, and we could probably be here all day while we listed them all out. So if you do have any more questions about what it's like living in Plano, or maybe Plano is not exactly what you're looking for, but you have other questions on some of the cities and the locations and areas all throughout the Dallas area, that's why we say reach out. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Let us know what it is that you're looking for. There might be some areas that you might want to dive into a little bit deeper. Don't hesitate to reach out and let us know what we can do to help you make that smooth move here to the Dallas, Texas area. And until next time, take care.